WoW's best news in years. That's what he's calling it. WoW's best news in years. I mean, honestly, Dragonflight's been nothing but pretty good news to me. And even when the bad news has come, they've retroactively kind of went back and changed it. So let's see what Bellular is talking about. And we'll give our opinion on whether or not this really is the golden era of WoW returning for us. We'll see. Pause this. Get the video started. Here we go.
Okay, this one is interesting. One of the most recent Dragonflight builds added the credits. And that means it's time to find out if Blizzard have been telling the truth. The truth about how much they have grown their team. And about how fast their content will actually be released. Because Blizzard did say that they intend faster patches. Okay,
that's true.
Now for the...
Look, I mean, one thing that's going to help them get patches out quicker and everything is just the fact that Microsoft bought them out, and I'm sure they're going to get more manpower after that.
Good news. Unlike most of our videos that have generally been yes with a but, this time, everyone, it's all bloody positive, and that is good news.
Shit,
the WoW team credited for Dragonflight is over 50% larger than in Shadowlands. Technically, at least. And new job titles give us a hint that serious changes have happened under the hood. And pop off that hood, and today, you'll find our sponsor,
pop off that hood?
Squarespace.com/Bellular Gaming, where code Bellular Gaming gets you 10% off an annual plan. They are my go-to for building a web presence.
Don't forget, women power, transgender power, fury
off to
power.
a fantastic start, which you can then build on by using their intuitive page editor. And if you want to go fancy, there is code injection, there is custom CSS support as well. But they're more than that. They actually help you run your business. Do you want to do a mailing list? Sorted. E-commerce, incredibly well built. Paid memberships, also sorted.
Thank you, Bellular.
When I needed to hire some staff, I spun up a Squarespace site in under 30 minutes to do that. Doing other work for our studio, their templates have handled the basics, letting me do the customization.
These ads.
They're the fast and easy way to build a fantastic web presence today, letting you stand out. Be that your business, your portfolio, anything else. I mean, imagine you're applying to a job. Would you not feel better if the link that you're sending over with your portfolio is a beautiful, well-designed looking website? That's going to make a better impression. So get started today. Squarespace.com/Bellular Gaming, code Bellular Gaming for
Thank you, Bellular.
Off an annual plan. Thanks to Squarespace.
That's good.
Let's go.
All right, let's go.
Let's look at the important number first. And by the way, pour one out for Matt. He literally went through all of the credits line by line for this video. So, oh boy, fine-tooth comb. Okay, total team size. For clarity, there were 8 people credited with classic roles in Shadowlands and 28 in Dragonflight. So, to be as clean as possible, we have removed those. And the same does actually go for Battle.net and Activision Blizzard staff. While they are obviously important to WoW and we're not trying to discredit them, what we are thinking about today is the content development and the WoW team itself. Now, there is also attrition. A lot of people have left, but their work is still in the game, and it's impossible to tell if somebody still works on the game, so there are at least a few percentage points in variance here.
People leaving?
As we dig into the data, but man, big picture, the data speaks volumes. In Shadowlands, there were about 488 people listed in the credits as working on WoW. That's pretty big, with the vast majority being
not an indie
art,
company.
design, engineering, and testing. Now, we've today used the categories that Blizzard use themselves for accuracy, but we have added one, and that is narrative. Using job titles alone because we think narrative is a pretty key point. Other than that, this is just the raw numbers from Blizz.
Oh, we don't have a warlock yet. Yeah, we need a warlock.
If we include the 100 members of the studio proletariat who were acquired by Blizzard and added to the WoW team, and they're credited separately, it's gigantic 735.
Holy shit.
That is 50.61% bigger than Shadowlands. Literally over half the team size again.
Damn.
Even if we take out those...
Maybe we really are going to get like a quick patch cycle and everything in Dragonflight. There were certainly content droughts and drop patches in Shadowlands, which led to part of the reason why this expansion sucked so bad. Now, the end of the expansion's fine. Even Warlords of Draenor, guys, we talk shit about WoD. The real reason WoD sucked was content drought. Content drought just kills the momentum of a game. It really does. So a big staff A lot of content. That's good stuff. That's
Those 100 members, because
we'll see if it
they
if it
only
all
joined earlier this
evens
year.
out to that.
It is still a growth of 147
Don't forget they have another
staff,
studio
which
as
is
well.
about
That's
a
true.
30%
They did buy
increase.
another studio.
That is an absolutely crazy increase in staff, which means, assuming nothing goes wrong with rapid scaling, and I guess that can happen, their desire to get smaller, faster content patches might actually become reality because they've got the people.
Yeah.
Right, let's
It
be
takes
real.
manpower
The key
to
to
do it.
running a successful game does lie somewhere between making good content and actually releasing content.
True.
And based on Season 3 and 4 of Shadowlands, if we can literally just get faster seasons, but then also more content and no bullshit, and Dragonflight seems to be a profoundly non-bullshit full expansion, then WoW will be in the best place it's been in gameplay wise for literally years. And more content
I agree,
means more opportunity to develop characters.
More
to
content
develop
means funner
plot
streams.
lines, which could theoretically stop us from getting the, insanely compressed Cliff Notes version of a story that is, what turned
Right.
Shadowlands into a literal laughingstock for the whole internet. But it's not just headcount. It's about who
Hopefully
they're
more raid
hiring
tiers, yeah.
and what
That would
roles
be amazing.
they'll take on. And on that,
Good morning, Captain.
Again, pouring out for Matt. He really went to effort for this video. We have some interesting stats.
What was he doing?
Who is making World of Warcraft? Well, the narrative team has technically doubled in size.
Oh,
According to our
shit.
methodology, there are now twice as many narrative
4
designers
to 8.
as there were before,
Get that story straight.
which is a massive increase of
What's up,
4.
Rest, please?
Up to 8. Narrative in WoW is kind of an interesting one because traditionally it was very loosely designed, and most of the narrative design was done by quest designers who were just working on smaller stories that all tied together into something.
Right.
Instead of a
Hey,
more
those quest
prescriptive-
designers had some good shit, man. If you guys remember back, a while back, even I'm talking about like classic, some of the stories in like Westfall and stuff, you help a farmer out, kill the scarecrows, get shit done. The piece of gear you got had something to do with that. The little narrative storylines in some of these quests were really good. They were really good. They weren't unimportant to like the major story of World of Warcraft, but they, I don't know what it is. They pulled you into the game, right? They helped with the immersion of the game and stuff. But there's definitely a break in larger narrative. Shadowlands narrative was horrible. So yeah, doubling up the narrative team is probably a good idea. Keep the story, keep it good, keep it straight, and don't give us silly villains that fucking break old lore, because that shit was annoying.
There's also creative development at Blizzard. That's actually another department that lies between all of the core game teams. Now, that means that all of the
They need to stop
narrative
censoring
stuff
shit?
does blend together across many disciplines and departments at Blizzard. But that being said, there are 4 new narrative designers on the Warcraft team.
There you go.
So hopefully that implies there are more people to weave together story and to make it
Yes.
feel better for the players. In all
I think it
seriousness,
can only get better than it
we
was in
can
Shadowlands.
look at what teams grew the most and what that actually means for the game going forward. So, narrative team aside, the largest percentage growth was in commercial. Comparing the two, the difference is that they hired a lot of staff who are in publishing and marketing.
Oh,
Though it's
God.
over a 60% increase, it is still only an extra 19 staff.
Oh god, marketing. They're gonna try to sell us more dildo store mounts. Oh shit. That's what that means. Right? They're doubling up the marketing team. They're just gonna get us more store mounts and market that shit.
So, if you were wondering why they are doing so much more social media posting,
That's true, actually.
and
Their
running
Twitter is
all of
way
those
more
cool
active than it's ever
community
been.
events and doing all the giveaways and stuff, that's your answer. And I know commercial to some people is a dirty word, but I mean, you do
God,
need
Joshua,
to
you
bring
got
in
the
the
Illidan
beans.
blades.
And there needs to be some people who are focusing on bringing in the beans and doing the community engagements and that kind of thing.
Community
That's
engagement's
actually
good. They've been
important
doing a
work
lot
to getting
more of
the game, going and supported and doing things like making money, which, by the way, they're in the business of doing.
True.
Then we've got engineering. Engineering comes in third for percentage, but in terms of raw numbers, it's the biggest because they added 53 engineers.
You better make a flying dinosaur with a mailbox in its butt.
increase. I mean, can you picture 53 engineers in one room? That's a lot of engineering. Now, that
is
means
a lot of engineering,
lot more
but they need a lot of
support
engineering.
and back-end development. And this could be anything from implementing and supporting dragon riding, which, by the way, bloody miraculously feels great and actually works.
I'm so excited to do
doing
this.
crazy important work in the back end that...
So I have beta access, but the only dragon flying I've kind of done is the soar ability for the Drakthir. I have not actually gotten on a dragon and done this yet. And I'm saving it because I want to do it for the first time when Dragonflight goes live. I am so fucking excited to Dragonfly.
You know, we benefit from, but don't
It just
see.
looks like such a fun thing to do.
You know the whole thing where the backpack was like hard coded back in the day, and doing anything that changes the backpack, like for the Volpera racial, ended up being a humongous, inordinately stupid task. Like WoW is an old engine.
It's the same mechanic, yeah, it is, but it's faster and more exciting.
Need engineers to bring things up to speed, so that's good. Now, diving into that further, there's an extra 5
Toretto and
gameplay
Dragonflight
engineers.
About family.
But there's also a lot
Holy
more
crap.
tools and UI engineers. Now,
Wow.
actually, this is what gets me the most excited personally. Number one,
Tools and UI is essentially add-on replacement engineers. That's good stuff. Less add-ons. Hey, that's good.
I really did enjoy like writing tools in Unity back when I was doing core programming work all the time. So I have a bias there, but I think it's extremely important. Tools are good. More tools engineers means better tools. That means that the people who are content designers can do their job efficiently and get more shit done.
Get more shit in the game.
I cannot overstate to you how important this is. And I cannot say what it is because it would be severely not cool and very identifying and get people in trouble. But let's just say I know of a studio where there was, and this is actually a thing, this is pretty anonymous because this has actually happened across multiple studios that I know now.
Okay.
There was one where, you know, they wanted to, let's just say, and it's always like this in every studio, the coders and engineers want to use their own in-house engine. But because of like tools and stuff and having a really nice editor, especially for the Unreal Engine, a lot of artists and like people who are actually implementing content in game, they're like almost lobbying for Unreal Engine. And I know of multiple times
I've never
where
developed
Unreal Engine
anything
has
like this,
won
so.
out over the really awesome custom in-house engine because of nice tools and a nice editor.
I'd assume
So
Unreal Engine
they
has
make a
great
bunch of
tools, and that's why
content
most
for WoW
people
in
use
a
it.
tool called WoW Edit. Now, if WoW Edit is a piece of shit, do you think that's going to make WoW content easier to make or harder to make?
Harder to make.
That
for
is
sure.
why tools programmers, tools engineers are extremely important. And also,
Okay.
hey, more tools for the developers.
So good tools means good content that gets out faster, right? That's essentially what he's saying. Good tools means you get shit into the game faster.
Literally make their lives better. So that's good news. The second largest category to grow was design, with an extra 42 staff. That's a 40% bump
Wow.
in people's whose job it is to either make shit or balance shit. What do
You
we
know what all
want
this
now?
tells me?
We want
You know what all these increases tell me? They tell me that finally they fucking woke up. World of Warcraft and the Blizzard team woke up and realized World of Warcraft is #1, but it doesn't have to stay that way. I think Final Fantasy and other games that came out, now say what you want about Final Fantasy. I've never played it. I'm fine with people who do play it. I don't hate on the fucking game. It's fine. I'm actually happy the game exists because I think it made things like this happen. It made Blizzard realize, like, hey, we can't just sit on our throne made of melted dildos put together and just assume that we're going to be the #1 MMO in the world forever. We have to make content that's good. We have to put the manpower into this game that it's going to take to stay #1. I really think all that pressure from other games really pushed them to keep this game good.
more
Melted dildos thrones are very fancy. I agree. The Cliffy.
shit. What do we want? We want it balanced. That's
Game
obvious.
of dildos, Game of Thrones.
Now that means that they've actually
What a waste of
targeted
dildos.
the two biggest teams and grown them the most to make sure that the demands of content and features are met. That is good shit. Thankfully, they
It's
have
good
seemed
shit.
to avoid the mistake that tanks a lot of other
Can't
teams
cut
that
yourself with
expand
that. Yeah,
rapidly.
you might penetrate
They
yourself,
did
but you
not
won't cut yourself
forget
on that throne.
production staff, because the production team is up by 34% to 47 people. And you might think, oh,
Nice.
producers, what are they? Middle managers, pack of dicks.
The fuck?
No. Oh, no. Trust me, producers are the fucking
sausage
glue
overlay.
that holds a team together and ensures that just shit gets done. And that's why a
That's
bad
important.
producer can really fuck their team and make life awful. But
True.
a good producer, and you know this if you're a developer, you know that a good producer just is there making your life easy, making shit on schedule,
That makes
making
sense.
shit less stressful.
Makes
so
sense.
that they've expanded production, that is great. Leadership also grew a lot, but most of that is reflecting promotions or
Yo,
new
where are the healers?
responsibilities.
The hell?
But it does let us segue to some important stuff, though. World of Warcraft's new directors. So, Ian Hazzikostas is still at the helm as game director.
I watched
but
this
now
interview. It was
he's
good.
got two people up there with him, Jeremy
sword?
Fiesel and Morgan Day. I knew about Morgan being associate game director. I did not know that Jeremy got the promotion as well.
Morgan Day?
Jeremy, as an example, he's the guy who went to bat and I think led. He was like the tip of the spear.
That's a guy
for the
here. It wasn't
Timeless
that the person
Isle,
on
which was, of course,
G4
a very,
named
very
Morgan
well
Day?
regarded feature. And you will have seen,
Original G4.
Morgan in a lot of interviews, Jeremy in a lot of BlizzCons and stuff. Now, that to me, that there's these two associate game directors.
That was Morgan
that does
Webb.
imply
Yeah.
more shared
right.
responsibility for the game overall. I do like that. I also think about, say, some of the core competencies of people. I'm not 100% sure about Morgan's in-game background. I know that Ian's in-game background,
Ian was a hardcore raider.
theory crafting guy. He actually got his job. Actually, quite a few people from this guild and forum, Elitist Jerks. If you started the game around when I did, you'll know about it, Jay.
I remember them.
So yeah, like that was kind of like theory crafting, sort of numbersy stuff. Ian, of course, was working in encounter design and then systems design.
Yeah.
As an example, he was an encounter designer, I believe.
I
on
actually
Dawn
don't
of
think
Thunder,
Ian's that
which
bad.
was
I
one
think
of
he's kind of gotten the short end of the stick on a lot of things. I mean, at the end of the day, yes, he is the game director, but I think he's kind of got blamed for a lot of shit that's not really his fault. Now, he did go through a phase where he was a bit of, like his old guild. He was an elitist jerk, where he kind of believed like he knew better than the players knew, and I feel like he's completely taken steps back on that. He's gone back and said, you know what? These players kind of know what they're talking about sometimes. Maybe I should listen to them. Yeah, what sword? Exactly. He was fun in his interviews for Dragonflight, and I feel like he's kind of got a renewed passion for the game. It's good to see.
those slapping raids out there whenever that came out. So I then look over to like Jeremy, and there's a bunch of world content stuff, and things like that I've liked that it seems like
Right.
he's led. So perhaps if at the director level for the game, there is a more like broad set of gameplay styles and interests being represented, that might be good for most players. I'd hazard to guess.
Yeah,
Anyway, it
probably.
does imply some shared responsibility. That is a good thing. Blizzard actually did that with Overwatch 2, where its current director
This is a good cinematic.
actually served as Jeff Kaplan's
If you guys haven't watched this,
assistant
check it
director
out. It's
for
a good
very
cinematic.
long time. And it also reflects something that Matt and I talked about a while ago on our stream, and that is that the game is maybe
My
too
fingers
big
are crossed
and
for
too wide
Dragonflight. I even
one
bought the collector's
director
edition.
to keep focused
So
on
did I.
ensuring that every sort of player is happy. That's why
I'm
I think
excited
that
for it.
sharing the responsibility across people with different focuses might be helpful. So all in all, it does seem like real organizational change has went down, and I think that bodes well.
Yeah.
Another great change is that there are now 2 named lead encounter designers, up from 0. And to cut a long story short,
that's a big
more
improvement.
team leads as the
That's a
head
big
count
change.
grows means that they know what they need. They know they need more leadership. It's hard to understate just how important this is. Having people who are officially in charge of parts of the game, that means that there is internal accountability, and for workers, that means there is clarity. As an example, if Vault of the Incarnates fights end up not being fun or having issues, then
Right.
the lead encounter designers are the people who, the
Get the
buck
finger.
stops
Yeah.
with them.
Right.
That is a healthy thing
Right.
to have within an organization. It's not about slamming people. It is about having
Like,
feet.
I mean, Sepulchre of the... Okay, Sanctum of Domination, the aesthetic was shit. The raid wasn't too bad. Sepulchre of the first ones, the raid was extremely difficult for stupid reasons. Just a lot of one-shot, get the whole entire raid fucked mechanics. That's why I have issues with Sepulchre of the first one. Now, they've said they're going to take a step back from that stuff. And really why that stuff was in the game was because of the whole race to world first competition. And Blizzard said they're not going to tune raids around race to world first anymore. It is what it is. If these guilds are so good, they're going to one-shot every boss the day the raid drops, then oh well, that's what's going to happen. So that's good for us, right? That's good for the players who are not in fucking Liquid and Method and shit. The regular guys like us. But all in all, raiding in World of Warcraft to me has always been one of the best things about the game. I love raiding in this game. I've always thought it was the best thing in the game. And even in the bad expansions like WoD, I thought the raids were good. So it's good to see them even putting more emphasis on raiding. I think raiding is the core of the game, personally. It's my favorite thing.
Feedback loops
And it needs
that
emphasis.
allow for meaningful forward progress. Honestly, there isn't even much more to go into. This is just great news. Blizzard have actually put their money where their mouth is to the tune of many, many, many millions
get
of
your
dollars
tier
in
gear and
wages
enjoy it until
alone
the next tier.
to
Yeah,
actually give
exactly.
World of Warcraft the resources that it needs to grow. I mean, for
I
the
would love 40-man raids. I would. Chaos, but it'd be fun.
longest time, have you not kind of felt like, hang on a second, you are making the most goddamn money of like an MMO fucking ever. You are
Yeah,
making boatloads of fucking money. And
Yeah.
why does it feel like there's 3 people making the game? Where has the content gone? How have we lost the content? What's
God.
happening?
Oh,
How
God.
does the game have so many
It's going
fucking issues that
demonic,
last for
OG.
such a long fucking time before they get fixed? Right?
man.
You feel like you're going insane. You feel like
happening?
World of Warcraft is just
What's
sitting
happening?
there, the goddamn cash cow, sitting there making all the money for Blizzard to just be redeployed
This
on shit
editing
that
is
isn't
top
World of
tier.
Warcraft. Now, I'm not saying that I'm not making a factual claim that that's true, but it sure has felt like that. And, you know, in a world where the game's raking in all this money, but there's just feedback isn't being actioned on, you know? Shit like that. I mean, they're so bandwidth limited that, like, my feedback to balanced druids in Shadowlands Alpha, it was like the first thing that me and Matt noticed when we logged into Shadowlands Alpha. It only got addressed with the rework of Dragonflight. So for a lot of us, it just felt like, you know, they were just extracting the money from WoW and putting it into Bobby's yacht, as the memes
Yeah,
go.
oh, yeah.
Not literally,
Bobby
but
needs a
that's
yacht.
the thing. And obviously, a business needs a cash cow, and sometimes it makes sense to reinvest in other future growth areas, right? I'm not going to begrudge them that. That would be very silly. But it did feel like WoW needed more because we were not getting enough content. And whenever we see like literal evidence that they are making reinvestments into the game, that
Yes.
makes us feel good. Here's a
Makes
good
us
example
happy.
of that. A lot of us could look at the FF14 in-game shop and think, holy fuck, that is really bad compared to WoW. But in the FF community, they genuinely believe that that money's being reinvested into FF14. At the very
True.
least, that's what their game director has told them.
Right.
And because they're generally very happy
need
with
more
the
hunters,
game, and
yeah.
it gets like a very, very reliable, stable, like quantity of high quality content in its patch cycle, they're actually okay with that because they understand the reinvestment, or at least that's the story.
You gotta reinvest.
So,
it's an MMO.
Here with WoW,
Content
we
is
see
king.
some
You gotta get
literal proof of
reinvest.
that. And if I wanted to go really crackpot in all of this, I could say that we've got a big theory of a world revamp in 11.0. Maybe they've just scaled the team up so they can deliver that for the next expansion. Or maybe not. Let's just say, if 10.1 isn't out in a decent amount of time and full of content,
I think it will be.
then we'll start ramping up speculation that this insanely huge team of 735 people must be doing something, and if it's not patch content, then it's a world revamp. I've kind of
WoW
fucked it
2.
with you. But
WoW 2.
seriously, that's a lot of people. And if you want a comparison, the development team behind God of War, it was over 250 developers in 2021,
Holy shit.
excluding outsourced staff during the full
Never played.
production
Believe it
of
or not, I've never played, and I think I should. God of War looks like a great game.
WoW's
I know
core
it's a
team
great
is
game. I
almost
just gotta
3
fucking
times
play
that
it.
size. So let's hope that these resources get put to good use. But if you want something that is a leading indicator of WoW having more content, I have a feeling that more people working in WoW is that indicator. That is the lesson of today. I hope you found this breakdown
Nice.
of the credits to be interesting. I mean, Matt literally went through the credits line by line. I don't know how he did
Power
that.
to Matt.
It's pretty impressive. So, fuck yeah, Matt. I hope you found this interesting. And you know what? Between this and Dragonflight,
God of War was great.
actually
Yeah, I
looking
gotta try
really
it.
damn solid.
I really do. This was great. That was a great video. I mean, it's good. It's good stuff to see, right? It's good to see the game getting the love it deserves. An ad is about to slap you guys in the face, by the way. If you're not subbed, I'm sorry, but the ad has to run, so I don't get fucking pre-roll ads that make people leave the stream before they even see what's going on. We're waiting for healers. We're gonna continue here. We have another video to watch. We'll do that. We'll continue on with WoW news and WoW shit as we get our healers. The ad is coming. Yeah. The Bellular stuff is good. It's, like I said, it's good to see the team growing. The team does need to grow because the game needs content. The game needs content. It's a must. Yeah, what ads? If you got ad blocker, maybe. But all in all, you know, we've always wondered why a company the size of Blizzard has issues with development pipeline and stuff, and it really is because they do seem like they were understaffed. They do seem like they were understaffed for the game, for the size of the game, right? For the largest MMO in the world, they were understaffed. They were. So, hey, more staff means more content. More content means more to do. More to do just usually means a better expansion. And that's the good thing. I know a lot of people hate this, but I miss shit like Molten Front and TOC back in the day. Daily hubs. Yes, daily hubs were fun. I like daily hubs too. You know what I miss? I miss Wintergrasp. I'm not even a PvPer and I miss Wintergrasp. I do miss like world events. They make the world feel alive. They make you realize like, hey, I'm not playing a single player game. I'm playing a game with thousands of people, and it just makes, you know, you don't know what's gonna happen next. It makes everything more exciting. I wish we'd get another thing like Wintergrasp. I just think it would break servers. I think their servers can't handle it. That's the main problem. Korthia and ZM are the current hubs. Yeah. Oh man, my stomach is growling. Yeah, but are they really? Are they really? There's not much to do there. I mean, you're just flying around doing dailies, killing some world bosses. I turned War Mode on fire, and very first time was fun. On for the very first time. I had War Mode on for a bunch of this expansion. I did. I had War Mode on for quite a lot of this expansion, and I enjoyed it. The reason why I turned it off was for summoning for raids, because most people had it off, and it was just annoying for Mythic Plus and for raids to be the one guy who has War Mode on. That's the reason I turned it off. We do have 2 tanks now. Really, one more healer. One more healer. Yeah, low eye level. Yeah, I'm just telling people that we're waiting for a healer still. You know what? Could be a good thing or a bad thing. Keystone raids. I mean, that's essentially what Faded Raiding is. Faded Raiding is kind of like a Keystone Raid. You're adding an affix to the fights, right? That's what Faded Raiding was. I'm fine with Keystone Raids at the end, like this, where all the contents come out, everything's happened, everyone's explored the raids, gotten their achievements, and now it's time to kind of fuck around with the raids a little bit, make them a little bit interesting, just give us some extra content. Timed raids? That sounds stressful as hell, man. I'm not gonna lie. A timed raid with a timer, say 4 hours on it? I don't know if timed raids would be that fun. It sounds stressful to me. I mean, like being in a stressful situation of a Mythic Plus being timed for 30, what the longest timers are maybe 40 minutes, right? That's fine. But being in a timed situation for 4 hours sounds like a fucking state exam or something. It sounds like I'm taking the bar exam again. That just sounds stressful. Yeah. If they're making raids easier, though, we'll see how the next set of raids are. Yes, the next set of raids are supposed to be easier. That's true. We'll see. We'll see.